Every time you sip water between meals, you've probably wondered the same terrifying thing. Did I just shut down my gut's cleaning cycle? Here's what almost nobody gets right. The cycle isn't controlled by what's in your stomach. It's controlled by a single hormone with a name you've never heard. And once you understand it, you'll realize plain water doesn't stop your internal street sweeper, but the zero-calorie diet soda in your hand absolutely can. If you've been spacing your meals or fasting, you know this exact moment of panic. You're being disciplined, you're letting the cleaning cycle run, and then you get thirsty. Or you reach for a black coffee, a sugar-free gum, a diet soda, and you freeze. Does this count? Am I ruining everything? Here's the problem. The rule everyone repeats, just don't eat calories, is flat out wrong. It's why people sip diet soda thinking they're safe while quietly sabotaging the very cycle they're protecting, and why others stay dehydrated for no reason at all. To stop guessing, you have to understand what actually pulls the trigger. And it's not calories. So in this video, I'm giving you 5 mechanisms that explain exactly what does and doesn't interrupt your gut's self-cleaning cycle, including a hormone doctors literally weaponize as a medication, the sweet taste trap that fools your gut with 0 calories, and the reason the morning water that sends you running to the bathroom has nothing to do with the cleaning wave at all. Let's start with the trigger nobody talks about. Mechanism 1, it's not calories. It's a hormone called Motilin. Forget everything you've heard about calories stopping the cleaning cycle. The real switch is a hormone called Motilin.
Remember your internal street sweeper, the Migrating Motor Complex?
When your stomach has been empty for a while, specialized cells release Motilin, and that hormone is what fires the powerful phase 3 wave.
The part of the cycle that actually scrubs your small intestine clean.
Motilin is the ignition key. No Motilin, no deep clean. Now here's the fact that should make you sit up.
Motilin is so powerful that doctors prescribe a drug to imitate it, and that drug is an antibiotic.
Erythromycin, normally used to kill bacteria, mimics Motilin so strongly that gastroenterologists give it in tiny doses not to fight infection, but to physically force the cleaning wave to fire in people whose guts have stalled. They call it a prokinetic. Think about that. The cleaning cycle is so real and so mechanical that we've built medication to manually pull the trigger. So here's why this matters for your glass of water. Plain water does not suppress Motilin. It carries no signal that tells those cells to stop. The hormone keeps releasing, the sweeper keeps firing. Water is invisible to the ignition system. You were worried about the wrong switch the entire time. Mechanism 2, the sweet taste trap. 0 calories can still stop the cycle. Now here's where the just avoid calories myth completely falls apart, and where most disciplined people accidentally sabotage themselves. Your tongue isn't the only place you have sweet taste receptors. You have the exact same receptors, called T1R2 and T1R3, lining your gut. They're sensors, constantly scanning for sweetness. And here's the trap. These sensors don't measure calories. They measure sweetness itself. So when you drink a diet soda, chew sugar-free gum, or stir a calorie-free sweetener into your coffee during your fasting window, those receptors light up and fire what's called a cephalic phase response, a fake digestion signal. Your body braces for incoming food, shifts toward digesting mode, and can interrupt the cleaning cycle. 0 calories. Cycle stopped anyway. Think of it like a fire drill. The building doesn't have to actually be on fire. The alarm alone empties the offices and stops all the work. Artificial sweetness is the false alarm. It triggers the response without the substance. So that harmless diet soda you've been sipping to white-knuckle through your fast? It may be quietly sending your cleaning crew home, while plain, unsweetened water never raises the alarm at all. The takeaway flips the rule on its head. It was never just about calories. It's about signals. Plain water sends none. Sweetness sends a loud one. Mechanism 3. Your gut secretes 7 to 9 liters of fluid a day, and water keeps it running. Now let's talk about why water doesn't just fail to stop the cycle. It actively helps it. And this is a fact almost nobody knows about their own body. Your digestive system is not a dry tube. Every single day, your body secretes somewhere between 7 and 9 liters of fluid internally. Saliva, stomach acid, bile, pancreatic juices, intestinal secretions. That's nearly 2 gallons of fluid your gut produces and then reabsorbs almost entirely. Only about 1 liter ever reaches your colon. Picture a giant recycling fountain inside you, constantly pumping fluid out to break down food and carry debris, then drawing almost all of it back in. The street sweeper's wave relies on that fluid to lubricate the tract and wash debris toward the colon. A dry brush just scratches. The water is what actually carries things away. Now here's the consequence. When you're even mildly dehydrated, this enormous recycling system falters. Secretions thin out, motility slows, and the sweeper's wave loses its lubrication. That's the real mechanical reason hydration matters, not the vague advice to drink more water, but because you're keeping a 7 to 9 liter internal fountain flowing. Drinking plain water between meals isn't cheating the fast. It's refilling the reservoir the cleaning crew depends on. Mechanism 4. The 2 reflex distinction. Your morning water doesn't use the sweeper at all. Here's a question that confuses almost everyone. If water doesn't trigger digestion, why does a glass first thing in the morning send me straight to the bathroom? Because you've been crediting the wrong mechanism. That bathroom trip has nothing to do with the street sweeper. It's a completely separate reflex, and once you see the difference, you'll understand your gut on a level most people never reach. There are 2 distinct systems at play. The MMC, your street sweeper, runs in the small intestine and is launched by Motilin. But the morning bathroom urge is the gastrocolic reflex, a totally different circuit. Mechanism 5. Sorting your drinks by signal, not calories. Now let's put the master rule to work, because once you stop counting calories and start reading signals, every drink sorts itself instantly. Plain water, no calories, no sweetness, no signal. The sweeper runs, the fountain refills, the colon gets a healthy nudge, fully safe. Black coffee and plain tea, essentially no calories and no sweet signal, so they won't suppress Motilin. In fact, they tend to stimulate gut movement. And here's a strange one. It's not the caffeine. Even decaf coffee triggers colonic motility, often within minutes. So coffee's gut effect isn't a caffeine story at all. It's something in the coffee compounds themselves. Anything sweet, diet soda, sugar-free gum, zero energy drinks, sweetened water, remember the trap. Sweetness is a signal even without calories. These can stop the cycle. Treat them as food, not water. The splash of milk, the honey, the bone broth, the handful of almonds, real calories, real digestion signal, real shutdown. The tiny splash of milk in your coffee genuinely stops the sweeper. This is the answer to the question so many of you have been asking. And one subtraction note, filter your water. Tap water is often chlorinated, and sipping a mild antimicrobial all day to support your gut is like watering your garden with diluted weed killer. Plain filtered water, that's the fuel. So let's tie it all together, because the anxiety disappears the moment you understand the real rule. Your gut's cleaning cycle isn't a fragile flame that any sip blows out. It's governed by signals, not calories. Motilin is the ignition, and plain water never touches it. Sweetness, even with 0 calories, raises a false alarm that can stop the cycle anyway. Real calories, milk, honey, broth, snacks, shut it down every time. Meanwhile, water is quietly doing 3 jobs you never gave it credit for. It stays invisible to the Motilin switch. It refills the 7 to 9 liter internal fountain your sweeper runs on, and through a separate reflex, it nudges your colon to keep things moving in the morning. So drink your plain water freely between meals. Skip the diet soda you thought was safe. Stop crediting your morning bathroom trip to a cycle it never touched. Your gut is forgiving. It just needs you to stop sending it false alarms during the cleaning shift. And water, Real plain water was never the enemy. Now I want to hear from you because I know this one's been quietly stressing you out. Be honest in the comments. What's your secret between meal drink? The diet soda you swore was harmless? The black coffee? The splash of milk that didn't count? The sugar-free gum? Drop it below and I'll tell you whether it's keeping your sweeper running or setting off the false alarm. And if this finally cleared up a question you've been carrying for months, subscribe. Because next, we're breaking down how every one of these rules changes when you work the night shift, where the timing gets turned completely upside down. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in that one.